So 2023 has not been a good year for the fantasy genre in general, whether it be in series or in movies. Nonetheless, let's jump right into it and see if we can find anything good that happened this year. First off, we are so far removed from what happened a year ago when everybody was talking about the Rings of Power and how bad that was of a series, which pretty much set the tone for what was to follow. Early 2023, we got to watch not one, but two Witcher series. The original Witcher series, Season 3, and a spin off, Blood Origins. Strangely enough, the critics seems unanimous with the audience score giving it an abysmal 28% audience, 13% score. Blood Origins was not well received at all. Audience giving it barely 13%, just above the 10%. 1 out of 10 people apparently enjoyed this series. There were some good cast members, and yet there was no story, no character development whatsoever. And then we got The Witcher, that didn't even get 20% audience score. Everybody was aware that it was Henry Cavill's last year as The Witcher. Even then, people just did not enjoy the series. It just keeps getting worse year after year. And the other bad news that we got this year is that Shadow and Bones, which had a tremendous good first season, so much so that it had a spin off video game created. Unfortunately, season 2 did not do as well. Unfortunately, they decided to cancel the series, so we are not getting a season 3. So yeah, 2023 was off to a very rough start in the fantasy genre. Luckily, we did get a couple of hidden gems and a couple of surprises, which we'll get to shortly. First off, I would like to talk about The Wheel of Time Season 2. Now, I know a lot of hardcore fans are not pleased with this interpretation of the novels for many reasons. Some of the characters should be dead, they're not dead. It doesn't follow faithfully the book letter per letter. Now, having said that, I've watched it myself and I've really enjoyed it so far. It's not perfect, but the story holds up, the characters hold up, and the visual effects are very well made. And what the fantasy genre is supposed to be is to take you into this fantasy world, and The Wheel of Time does it pretty well. And if I have to be honest, it is one of my top three fantasy genres for the year 2023. And if you don't agree, please feel free to comment down below. I'll read the comments and I'll try to respond as honestly as I can. But I do understand if not everybody agrees with this pick. My next pick is something that I wasn't expecting for the year 2023 would be Domina. Season 2 build up on the season 1 success, and unanimously, the series has been well received with its targeted audience, getting almost 90% approval rating. Which people might say, no, it's more of a historical piece than fantasy. Personally, for me, anything that has to do with Romans or Vikings or ancient Africa, Asia, whatever, and that is not a documentary, would pretty much fall in the fantasy genre for me personally. Again, you might disagree with this assumption. Domina has proven that drama in an historical site in the way that the Romans kind of did stuff. It is romanticized, it is dramatized. The costumes, the decor, everything takes you to another place and time. And the story and the scripts and the actors deliver a very top notch performance. And I think that explains the success of this series. If you haven't seen it, I do highly suggest that you give it a try. And now on to my last but not least top pick for the year 2023 in the fantasy genre would have to be, without a doubt, One Piece, the live adaptation on Netflix. Again, not without controversy, because people will tell me, well, this is not the fantasy genre, it's the anime. Yes, it's based on anime, but then again, it's a live adaptation, it's a fantasy world, and I think that it was really a very nice surprise that everybody enjoyed to the fullest this year, getting top reviews not only from critics, but especially the audience at over 95%, which is pretty rare. This series was so phenomenal. The acting was superb, the world building, the special effects, the story. Strangely enough, this is an adaptation that both please the hardcore manga fans, the hardcore anime fans, struck a chord with just simple good storytelling that everybody enjoys. No woke messaging, no political correctness, just a good story, good characters, and it was a fun time, a fun watch. Personally, I don't have the time to go into the anime, but I do know that a lot of people decided to finally watch the over 1,000 episodes in the anime. And the point being that people cannot get enough of this series. So, folks, there it is, my top 3 picks for the year 2023. I wish I could have a top 5 and a top 10, but like I said in the opening, it was not a great year for the genre. We don't have a lot to pick from, and most of it was beyond trash. And luckily, we did have a few good ones, and not only good, but absolutely great. Now, for the last part, I will give out an honorable mention to a series out there called The Sandman. And like the title implies, it has to do with the dream world. I thought it was really well done. The scripts are really well made. There's a few surprises that I was not expecting out of this series, but for the most part, I did enjoy it. I am hooked. I am looking forward to the next season. I just don't think that it was on par with the other series that I mentioned in this category. So there you go. Hopefully, you will find some insight in my video today. And let me know in the comments down below if there's something that I should have mentioned that I forgot to mention. Fingers crossed that the next year we get so many more better series in the fantasy genre. But that's it for this year. I wish you all a good one, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.